Afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Planning Commission meeting. It is 4:30 on Thursday, December 18th, 2025. First item on the agenda is election of officers for 2026. Do I have any officers?
I'd like to present a slate of Bill Turnblad for chair, Larry Mack for vice, and Linda Beck for secretary.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Do I have any other nominations from the floor? Are there any other nominations from the floor? If not, the slate is presented as Bill Turnblad, Linda Beck, and Larry Mack as vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from November 20th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Are there any corrections or additions? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of approval?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item on the agenda is the public hearing, opening for the continuation of a variance application for 1527 South German Street. City report.
All right. This is a variance request with the reduction in the minimum front yard setback on parcel A from 30 feet to 20 feet for the construction of a single-family home. If you remember, well, I'm sure you all do, we've actually looked at this item in October, November, and now December. And since this was initially applied for, the Planning Commission made the recommendation we amend zoning ordinance to allow the RT2 standards to apply to grid lots in the R3 zoning district. That went to the City Council for a first and second hearing. The second hearing was this last Tuesday, and that will go into effect 30 days from publication, and it should be published on the 23rd of December. So that being said, we brought this item now back to the Planning Commission, getting rid of all the other variances that they were requesting other than the 20-foot front yard setback request off of German Street for parcel A. The legal description of the property is Lot 8, Block 41, south of Center Street. Street address is 1527 South German Street. Deadline for the decision on this application is now February 6th, 2026. They were also given an extension on the decision-making deadline. To date, this has been in the paper 3 times now. We still haven't had a public comment on this request. The applicant is the owner of a 50 by 165 lot located at the north corner of South German Street and 16 South Street. The applicant is requesting a variance to reduce the following standard in the R3 zoning district. On parcel A, the front yard setback would be reduced from 30 feet to 20 feet. A lot of the history that is in here is what it's been in each one of the staff reports. So I'm going to skip down to the 5th bullet on the history. There was an ordinance amendment that amends section 4.11C, additional requirements, and establishes a 13th standard that would be applicable to properties in the R3 zoning district. The amendment will apply to grid lots recorded prior to October 1st, 1968 that do not meet the minimum zoning standards to follow standards that apply to the RT2 zoning district. Again, that's this lot and 3 other lots in the R3 that this amendment would apply to. City Council conducted the first consideration of the ordinance at their December 2nd, 2025 meeting, and then their second consideration at the December 16th, 2025 meeting. The ordinance will go into effect again 30 days following the publication, which will be December 23rd. The applicant is proposing to construct 2 single-family homes on the property, one abutting South German Street and then the other one facing 16 South Street. Unique circumstances on the property that would apply to this variance request is there is a 10% slope from the front of the lot to the rear of the lot, and because of the slope, a significant amount of fill would be needed to construct the home at 30-foot setback from the front yard property line on parcel A. To reduce the amount of fill necessary on parcel A, the applicant is requesting a 20-foot front yard setback rather than the required 30. Other reasons to consider approval of the variance, although these don't apply to the unique circumstances on the lot specifically, the remainder of the lots on this half block are the same size and would have been subject to reduced setback standards at the time of their development, although the front yards of all the other houses on this half block are at 30 feet. The proposed project would help address the city's housing shortage. As we know, the applicant is proposing to build smaller, less bedroom homes designed to be for first-time home buyers in New Ulm. That's at least what his goal is. And then the proposed variance would not impact surrounding properties. We did provide staff's evaluation of this variance request, and that's found in your findings of fact in your packets. We had 6 attachments: the variance application, site location map, zoning map, site map, ground level photos, and then the staff's response to findings of facts. If the planning commission would recommend this variance for approval, we'd recommend 2 conditions. 1, that the applicant shall pay the cost to record the variance with the Brown County Recorder's Office. And 2, the applicant will contact the city to verify the location of buildings once they're staked. There's 2 potential motions: 1 to recommend approval of the variance with conditions, and 1 to recommend denial. And that would conclude the staff report. I would note in this staff report also, we put together, let me get back here. The explanation of the variance requests and the zoning amendment that happened with the Planning Commission and the City Council regarding this variance request and how it pertains to the variance and also the simple lot division. And Dave provided a nice explanation for anybody here on the commission that wasn't familiar with this, or anybody reading our agenda packets on why we're taking this type of action currently. So, did you want to say anything more about that, Dave? Okay. That would conclude the staff report.
Thank you. Has everybody on the commission had a chance to read the attachments, like the variance application and the notes from the city?
Yes.
Has everybody gone through the finding of facts, and do we need to go through each question, or are you accepting them as written?
Except as written is what.
Yes.
Everyone is agreeing with that? Okay. Is there any further discussion, or does anyone have questions for staff?
I've got a question, I guess. Is there any concerns with being a corner lot for traffic, for sight line or anything with that?
Great question.
And/or have we done that before in the past on a corner lot from like a 30 to a 20? For comparison that, the intersections have been safe and.
Right, so I did check with the city engineer on where this house would be located and whether or not that'd be an issue with the site triangle. Because we're reducing or would be reducing the setback only by 10 feet, it wouldn't be within that safety site triangle at the corner, and the city engineer doesn't have a concern about safety at that corner.
Okay.
We also have other locations in town, and it's in the older sections of town where we have corner we have houses on corner lots that are on the property line. And in some cases, they actually go over the property line,
Yeah.
so.
And I'm just asking the question, you know,
Yep.
just to,
Good question.
John, when this gets to the council for approval, will the ordinance be in effect yet, or do we worry about that?
So
Timing?
we talked about that also with the city attorney. He's not concerned because that's already in motion.
All right,
At least that's what he has told staff, is because that's already in motion. It's just the 30 days, which we could receive comments on before it's official. But he said the planning commission could still make the recommendation to the council. If you guys recommend that, we could wait and hold back until it's official before we bring it to the council. That's one option.
I think I'm comfortable just having it go to council, and if there's a concern, it wouldn't become effective until the ordinance was also in effect.
That's correct.
I'm okay with that.
yeah, we had no public comment or anything on Tuesday night. We just did the second hearing of it. And
And the council they know what's coming,
the
and
council knows it, and, you know, staff explained that we're down to four of these lots, and we're trying to keep it so we don't have to go through everything, and they have a tool to use for future development.
all right.
Another item specific to this that the city attorney would like the planning commission to do is when this application originally came in, there were a number of variances that they requested. We're now only considering approving one, and he just recommended that the planning commission would make some type of motion to waive the other variances that were requested and only focus on this one and make approval on this one setback variances for the front yard.
Waive and not deny. I mean,
Yeah, he didn't say outright deny. He said, he made it sound like waive them because they're not necessary anymore
okay.
because of the ordinance amendment.
They're not even included on,
They're not included in the staff report, but they're included in the original variance request, which is what we're considering here
Right.
still.
That was the October meeting, right?
Right.
And that's because we tabled it.
We tabled it.
I think it's just a way to make things cleaner, that
Makes
it's
sense.
understood that this is was no longer under consideration.
Are there any other questions or discussion regarding this matter? If not, I'm looking for a motion.
Well, I would move that we would recommend approval of the front setback variance from Garden based upon topography and other considerations. German, sorry, thank you. But we would waive all other variance requests found in the original application except the German setback. And there would be the two conditions that staff has in the report.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Closes the public hearing portion of the meeting. And I guess we already all accepted did I miss approval of did I miss the approval of the finding of facts? We all agreed, correct? Or do I need a motion?
You did.
Yeah,
Pardon
you
me?
don't have to make a separate motion on that.
Okay, okay, then I'm closing this section. All right. Old business, continuation of simple lot division 1527 South Sherman Street, City.
All right, and if you don't mind, I'm also going to give an abbreviated version of
That's
this staff
fine.
report
Please
as
do.
well. This simple lot division request is by Jim Critch Sr., Southside Property Management LLC. The legal description is Lot 8, Block 41, south of Center Street. Deadline for a decision on this request is February 6, 2026. This was also given an extension. To date, we have not received any public comments on this request. The proposed lot split has dimensions of the proposed lot to be split has dimensions of 50 by 165 and a total lot area of 8,250 square feet. Again, the owner is proposing to split the lot equally, which would allow the construction of a single-family home on each parcel. The proposed legal descriptions would be parcel A, the southwesterly 82.84 feet of Lot 8, Block 41, south of Center Street, City of New Ulm, Brown County, Minnesota. And then parcel B, Lot 8, Block 41, south of Center Street, City of New Ulm, Brown County, Minnesota, except the southwesterly 82.84 feet thereof. In order for the applicant to develop the property with two single-family homes, there was a variance that needed to be granted to reduce the front yard setback on South German Street on parcel A. The new parcels that have lot dimensions of 50.12 by 82.84, that's parcel A, and then 50.125 by 82.84, and that's parcel B. There are 5 attachments, the applicant's letter and survey. Attachment 2 is the site location map. Attachment 3 is the zoning map. Attachment 4 is a simple lot division map, and then attachment 5 are ground level photos. Staff would recommend approval of the simple lot division with actually 2 conditions since it complies with the city code requirements. The conditions we'd recommend would be one, the approval is subject to the applicant recording the resolution authorizing the simple lot division with the Brown County Recorder's Office. And then condition 2 would be the applicant shall provide a 5-foot utility easement along the north line of parcel B. And that's because electric is located along the bike trail. In order to feed parcel A, they would like a utility easement along the north line of parcel B. There's 2 potential motions, one to recommend approval of the simple lot division with the legal descriptions, and then one to recommend denial. That would conclude the staff report.
Are there any questions?
John, on the surveyor certification, parcel A shows a clean out. What is that?
Oh, a sewer clean out.
So is that an issue with,
No, it's stubbed into the lot.
okay,
Yep,
all right.
good question. If you were to drive by that site right now, you'd see that white standpipe up
And that's-
into
okay.
the lot, and that's the sewer service for that lot.
Okay.
Then parcel B will have to have a service put into it.
Yep, parcel B's sewer, for them to get sewer, they have to go down here, bottom of the hill near the bike trail, and there's a manhole in the street where they have to come from into parcel B. And the property owner is aware of that and aware of the utility needs in order to make this work on this site.
He's aware also is that a special hookup fee then to tie on, or just it's probably at his
He'd
cost,
probably
I
have to,
suppose.
he's gonna have to pay 3 and 3 for this new lot that he's creating.
sure
Or sorry, new developable
new
lot.
developable.
Any further questions?
I'll make a motion to approve with one condition, the simple lot division of a lot 8, block 41 south of Center Street, City of New Ulm, Brown County, Minnesota, with the new legal description to read as follows. Parcel A, the southwesterly 82.484 feet of Lot A, Block 41 south of Center Street, City of New Ulm, Brown County, Minnesota, and Parcel B, Lot 8, Block 41 south of Center Street, City of New Ulm, Brown County, Minnesota, except southwesterly 82.84 feet thereof.
Could I just
Is that
step
with
in real
both
quick?
conditions?
With
There-
conditions?
The 2 conditions that are listed.
Thanks.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. When does this appear again?
This will go to the first meeting in January to the city council.
January
January
6th.
6th.
Thank you. Reports? City council decisions concerning planning commission.
Okay, at the December 2nd meeting, they had the first consideration of the ordinance that was just discussed. And they voted approval at the December 16th meeting. They had some non-planning commission items, one of which was they established a tax abatement program for development at 2229 North Highland Avenue. It's 2 rows of townhouses, and it's near the railroad and the Lakeside Village Edition. Second item was the second consideration of the ordinance that we just talked about. And then the council voted to approve that ordinance. Third item was they approved an amendment of the tax abatement agreement between the City of New Ulm, Garden Terrace New Ulm 2 LLC, and Highland Manor Incorporated, doing business as Oak Hills Living Center. And that's for the housing project. The council had approved the original agreement back on November 18th. The developer was provided with a copy of the agreement prior to that meeting, but in the interim found some items that they wanted further discussion about, and so some amendments were made. They were fairly minor. City attorney obviously was involved in that process, and so the council approved the amendment. Another item had to do with a tax abatement, again being located, a proposed project being located at 4th North and Broadway, where that fence is up, and there is the appearance of a project to take place. What has been found is that there are a number of buildings that previously were there. So there's a number of basements that have not been fully dug out. The soil is also in some locations not suitable for the type of project that they want to build. So this is additional cost to the project, and so they requested that the city establish a tax abatement district to help pay for that additional cost. And so it's kind of a 2-step process, and the council authorized staff to prepare the necessary document to establish that tax abatement. That would conclude the report.
Thank you.
How long do those tax abatement approvals run? Is it like 10 years, or is it dependent upon the project?
Dependent on the project. The state in statute established a number of different terms. The typical term is 15 years. The city more recently has taken the position that they would like to stick with 10 years. However, this particular project, in order to cover all of the anticipated costs, is going to be a 13-year program. If you can get either the school district or the county to submit a letter saying that they were in opposition to the proposed use of tax abatement, then you can extend the term of the district to 20 years. So 20 years would be the max. This funding mechanism is different in that The city, the county, and the school district, each, if they were to support it, has to do it individually. So they would have to go through a separate approval process. Each body would. And I would note that Brown County is participating in the Garden Terrace project.
Oh,
They
really?
just approved that at their meeting this past Tuesday.
So a project could have 1, 2, or 3 different,
Yes.
depending upon what approval level they get.
Yeah.
At the different.
Yeah. And it's really up to the developer to make a decision on how many they wish to approach. I think it's fair to say that most developers have shied away from asking the school district since they frequently have financial challenges, and so they don't normally approach them. And this is the first time the county has done a project with the city, so we're pleased to see that.
What initiated that? Was it the developers said, I'm going to go talk with the county, or did the city say, let's try this?
Well, in that particular case, the developer needed the funding in order to do the project. And, that was presented to the commissioners, and they agreed that it would be appropriate in this particular case.
Interesting. Is there any further discussion? Question? I'm assuming there was no Heritage Preservation Commission, or was there
There's not-
Heritage?
There was nothing to report.
Is there any further business to come before the commission?
Well, I did want to mention that all of the decisions you've made on the different housing projects this year has been noticed. In fact, they did an article on all the different housing projects in the Star Tribune pretty recently on what's happening in New Ulm and our more open approach to considering different types of projects and different types of locations. It must have caught some ears. So
Didn't see the article, but were they more residentially oriented or just everything?
they covered all of them.
All of them?
Four major, I would say the first 4 projects that we did, they didn't, I believe, spend any time with the Garden Terrace.
No, they didn't, and that's probably because was the interview before before that took place.
John, could you share that article with the commissioners?
Sure.
Just for reading material and
Yeah, that'd be nice.
emphasis.
it would be.
Any action take place with the tiny homes within the community this fall? Did they break ground or anything?
No, they didn't break ground. I think, and we just talked with Project Spark yesterday. There was a little holdup with the engineering. That way, it sounds like they are fully funded to do at least these first 2 houses, and are willing to break ground whenever they can. I think it's probably a little late in the year right now with conditions, but it's likely going to be a spring project.
Listen to the wind.
I know, can you hear that? Oh, no.
Yeah. Frost actually isn't too deep right now, but if we get a number of hard frosts, it could be over for concrete at least.
So are we still waiting for the ground to freeze for Garden Terrace to?
It's
Is
our understanding that they are going to start after the first of the year.
Okay, great, thank you. Well, I'd like to, this is my last meeting, I would like to thank the city and all of the commissioners here. It's been a great bunch of people to work with, and it's been fun, and it's been a very interesting year for us all. Last year was with the changes that we made last year, and this year was certainly interesting. So I want to thank you and have a great continuance. Is there any other business? Hearing none, the meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.